Work-life balance is a scam, and it's not even real. If you ask 10 different people their opinions on it, half of them are going to tell you your life is meant to be worked and you should do everything you can to make as much money as possible and to move forward in your career at all costs. The other half will tell you you should have fun, enjoy yourself, not stress too much, not worry about it. But I think actually somewhere in the middle is where the truth lies, because I believe that work and life are intertwined whether we like it or not. And so the goal is not to have work-life balance. The goal is to have a good life. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how to have a good life while still being successful and really taking care of yourself. So if we jump right into it, what we're looking at is the pillars of work-life balance, if you will. Let me get this thing away. I don't know how to do that. Okay, so anyways, work-life balance. The first pillar of it is work and productivity, because work is essential. Humans are meant to work. So every single day, we should be doing something to push the ball forward. We're meant to be productive. This doesn't mean you have to grind all day. It just means that we need to fight the lazy animal inside of us. We all want to sit on the couch and not do anything, and we think that's going to make us feel good, but I think it's pretty clear now that doing difficult things makes us happier in the long run. I'm not even sure if happy is the right word. More so, it makes us have joy. But, some days are going to be a sprint. Some days are going to be a slow walk, but each day needs to be forward movement. And there is an incredible, incredible book called The War of Art. And that book is just basically, they have this concept where there's this thing inside of you that just wants to be weak. And every day you have to fight that. And I feel that. I'm assuming that if you're watching this, you feel that. So every single day we want to be making forward progress. It doesn't have to be moving a mountain. We don't have to build Rome in a day. We just want to be moving forward, because what happens is in life, there is this thing called entropy. And entropy, I'm going to give you a bad definition for it, but entropy is basically over time, things get weak and decay, and you have to fight against entropy or else it will die. Whether that is your body, whether that's a plant, whatever it is, entropy exists in all aspects of life. You've probably noticed it if you've ever taken a couple months off from the gym. Your body starts to get weak and flaccid and not feel good. Entropy is something we are fighting every day. That's why it's important every single day to have forward movement. Because if you take a week off, okay, fine. You can get away with that because sometimes you need to do that. But in general, if you take a couple weeks off or a month off, it's going to be really hard to get back started because life is a game of momentum. And so you need to be thinking about entropy all the time. When you have an off day, when you want to be lazy multiple days in a row, you cannot let bad days stack up. Okay, so work and productivity to me is just an essential part of life. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. And you have to decide how you feel about that and how you're going to fight against this entropy so that every single day you can be moving the ball forward and being productive and improving your life in some way, shape, or form. So we got that out of the way. Work is important and there's no avoiding it. So I'm not even going to go into that aspect of things too much. You have to decide how much you want to work for yourself. And there are times in life. Here's the thing about life. It comes in seasons. So there's going to be times where you're going to have a busy season. There's going to be times where you have a chill season. You have to understand the season you're in and form to it accordingly. Now, I want to talk about relationships because relationships are the foundation of life. Without relationships, life is pointless and it's not worth living. I think we can all agree that that's the case, and it's pretty straightforward, and that's definitely proven by science. Now, the first relationship that's important is your relationship to yourself. Because a lot of people don't take the time to get to know themselves. So you can do things like go for a walk without a phone, meditate. And, let me talk about meditation for a minute because everyone thinks meditation is you got to basically float in the air and be some Buddhist monk. Meditation is simply a time to just disconnect and to go within and listen to your thoughts. That's it. That's all meditation is. You're constantly stimulated all day. It's a chance to unplug. There's a million things you can do. You can listen to music. You can go for a run. You can work out. Like whatever it is that you like to do that will help you connect to yourself, do it. But the point is, if you don't have a strong connection to yourself, you're going to feel lost. You're not going to know what direction to go in life. You're not going to know what to pursue. You're going to be aimless because you are not connected within. We all have an internal compass that can guide us through difficult times, through good times, through very unclear times. You need to be connected to yourself, point blank, period. Next up, a lot of us have a partner. And if you don't have a partner, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. But if you do have a partner, and I'm not going to go too long on this topic, you just need to make sure you nurture that relationship. Because what can happen is if you're hard workers like us and you're very motivated, that relationship can fall by the wayside because it's not a priority. So it has to become a priority. Whether it's every Tuesday you go for a date night, or every Friday you bring your partner flowers, or whatever your thing is, you need to nurture this relationship, because this relationship will be the backbone of when life wants to kick your ass and give you really, really difficult times. So having a partner is an amazing blessing. It's not for everyone, but if it is for you, just make sure that you're nurturing that relationship. I feel like this is so important. It's like a plant, and you have to water it and grow it. And then next up, we have friends and family. So, maybe you love your family, maybe you don't. That's okay. But we need friends. We need similar people with similar interests. For instance, I'm a unique individual. I am obsessed with technology. I am obsessed with fitness and health. I'm obsessed with electronic music. I need to find people that I can relate to about these things, so I can talk about the newest OpenAI release, so I can train with people, so I can dance with people. And my friends don't have to check all of these boxes, They could just check one box or two boxes. Maybe they check all three. Very rarely do any of my friends check all three of these boxes, but they need to at least check some of them. Different friends will fit in different ways within your life, right? So some will be for the tech and business, some will be for fitness, but you just need people that help you with the pillars of your life, because the pillars of your life are ultimately who you are. So finding people in all these different pillars, ideally all of them combined, but that's difficult. If you can do that, to me, that's a huge win, and I think that's amazing. Okay, now we've got health, but there's different types of health. So physical health, this is just so important, guys. You need to train every day. You need to train every single day. And that doesn't mean you need to kill yourself. That doesn't mean you need to go so hard that you're going to pass out. You just need to move your body. Just move. I don't even feel like I need to discuss this one too much. Exercise is the best thing you can do for your life. It just is. If you're not exercising, you're making a huge mistake. I can make more content on that. If you're interested, leave a comment, but I'm just going to leave it at this. You need to have physicality in your life. Maybe it's you go for a long, long walk. Maybe you go for a swim. Maybe you train. Maybe you lift weights. Maybe you do jujitsu. I don't care what you do. Move your body and sweat every single day. It will change your life more than anything else. If you're not doing this, you have to do this, okay? Next up, the mental side of things. This can be complicated because what people don't realize is that they're consuming drugs all day, every day. So imagine what happens when you're consuming drugs 24/7. Chances are you are too, by the way, because I'm talking about the phone and technology. The phone and technology has the same effect on the brain that crack cocaine can have. That's a verified fact. They've proven that through studies. Drugs, get a bad rap, but cell phones don't. But cell phones rob us of our connection to ourselves and our connection to other people more than just about anything in life. So you have to be very aware of your mental health. Mental health is not cliche. It's a very real thing. The same way we have physical health, we have mental health. And anxiety and depression, it will get a hold of you, and it is so difficult to shake. I've had it many times in my life, and it is not easy. And I really sympathize with you if you're going through it. My heart goes out to you. Honestly, it really does. But the mental side of things cannot be overlooked. So you need to do the things that people talk about. Like, people talk about these things for a reason. So for example, for me, what works really well is meditating. I meditate every day for 20 minutes. It helps me slow my mind down. Journaling or just writing your thoughts out on paper is so powerful. Praying, if that's your thing, praying can be very, very helpful as well. And I mean, there's a lot of ways that you can work out your mental health. What I would say is, before any sort of medications added to the picture, you want to make sure you're doing things like this every day. You want to make sure that you are practicing gratitude, which might sound absolutely ridiculous, but I literally promise you, if you practice gratitude, not as something you need to just check a box off of, but you embody it and you feel it. You feel it every single day. It's going to change your life. And you combine that with physicality and training, you're going to be feeling a lot better. Couple other things that I really love for mental health, the sauna. The sauna is like, oh my Lord. It is like, I don't know what I would do without it. I really don't. It is one of the biggest game changers I've ever added to my life. I like the cold plunge. I'm not as obsessed with it as some people are, but I do like it. Personally, if you're going to do one or the other, sauna all day, in my opinion. I absolutely love the sauna. It's just incredible. So I can pretty much promise you that if you're training 5 or 6 days a week, you're meditating and journaling every day, you're practicing gratitude every day, and you're hitting the sauna a couple of times a week, you're going to feel pretty good mentally. You just are. It's almost like math. It just adds up and you will feel good. I can just promise you. Now, what about happy making? What is happy making for you? Well, it's different for everyone. I mean, it literally is different for everyone. For me, one thing is singing and dancing. I love to sing and dance. And one of my favorite people in the world, he's one of the leading therapists in the world. And every time someone comes to him, he says, when did you stop singing and dancing? Because what happens is we kill our inner child and then we don't do anything that makes us happy. And then we get stressed and anxious and bored and miserable. And unfortunately, over time, things compound. And a lot of people think that that's what leads to a lot of disease, believe it or not. And so the point being is you have to do things that are happy making for you. Maybe for you, that's getting in nature and going for a hike or the beach. Most of us like these things, right? Maybe it's just leisure. Maybe you just like going for a walk and listening to the birds. Reading a book. I mean, I'm not going to try to list all the examples here because there's 17 billion. But the point is, you got to figure out what's happy making for you, okay? So you need to work on your happy making. It's not something that just happens. You need to work on it. Like what brings you joy? What makes you happy? Focus on that. So that's happy making. And ultimately, guys, if you think about it, if you combine all of this stuff, if you combine relationships, you combine your mental and physical health, you combine happy making, and you combine hard work every day, that's how you have work-life balance. And I don't care how busy you are, you have time in your life to train your body for a minimum of 30 minutes a day. You have 20 minutes to meditate and journal. You have an hour every couple of days to connect with another human being. You have an hour or two a week to get in nature. And this is just the baseline, and figure out what works for you. Figure out what you like. And what will happen is you'll start to feel a lot better. You'll start to be a lot happier. It's funny how it works. But at the end of the day, I don't believe in work-life balance. I don't think it's a balance. I think it's life. And you have to figure out how to optimize your life, because the only intelligent test, the only test of real intelligence is, did you get what you want out of life? And I believe we were put here to work hard, have great relationships, feel good and see the potential in our bodies, connect to ourselves, and have a lot of fun. And if you do that, you will have work-life balance. And you can do all that and make a ton of money, be successful, be an entrepreneur, have a great job, whatever it is that you're doing. But you got to nail these different pillars. So if you nail happy making, if you nail health, if you nail relationships, if you nail work and productivity, you will have a good life, I guarantee you. So if anyone's struggling right now and you're struggling with work-life balance or just being happy, try these for, a freaking week, ideally a month, and leave a comment and let me know how much it helped, because I know that this changed my life, so it will probably change yours as well.